DJonai Carrington need to get the hell out of Dodge, bruh. And I'll be the first one to tell you something has to get done with this assaulting players, bro. It started to become a habit with her assaulting people, and something just has to be done at this point. Now, this is what she just stated.
In the theater of professional sports, where accountability should reign supreme and actions carry consequences, the WNBA has once again chosen to play the role of an enabler rather than enforcer. DJ Carrington's latest social media tirade following the league's decision to rescind her flagrant fouls represents more than just a player defending herself. It's a damning indictment of a league that has completely lost control of its narrative and its players.
She keeps hitting people. She just keeps swatting people in the head. Like, how did this get rescinded? How did this get rescinded? She literally just took out her head.
DJonai, you're always in a dirty play. DJonai, once again, here we are today.
The numbers don't lie, even when the narratives do. DJ Carrington currently leads the WNBA in flagrant fouls this season, a statistic that should raise red flags faster than a referee's whistle on a technical foul. But this isn't just about statistics, it's about a pattern of behavior that has put multiple players at risk throughout the 2025 season.
It doesn't matter that she made a play for the ball. I agree she made a play for the ball. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She took out her head. She then undercut Gabby Williams in the same game. In the same game. She should have been ejected. Even if there's no intent, it's still an ejection. In her last 10 games, or last 12 games, she has swiped at 4 people's heads. She has 3 flagrant fouls for swiping at a head, and she's clawed 2 people.
The most recent incident occurred during the Dallas Wings' 83-77 loss to the Seattle Storm, where Carrington was assessed her 3rd flagrant foul of the season after making contact with Skylar Diggins' head during a chase-down block attempt. The play itself was textbook recklessness, Carrington chasing down Diggins on a fast break and making contact with her head as she attempted a block from behind.
Can we go a week without you flailing and going after somebody? Can we just go 1 week? That's all. Just 1 week, DJonai. DJonai Carrington decide. I can't even keep a straight face. This is so ridiculous. DJonai Carrington hunts down Skylar Diggins and makes a clear non-basketball play. Let's get into it.
Stretches the game. Wins the tip. Diggins, who's still fast, gets down the floor, buries it.
Oh, and there's Skylar on the floor.
What followed wasn't the typical professional response of accepting responsibility and moving forward. Instead, Carrington took to social media with all the grace of a toddler who just had their favorite toy taken away. Carrington wrote on X, saying she's not a dirty player, and if anyone really knows basketball, then they know she just plays hard. She also added that her recent flagrant fouls have been rescinded after appeals, as if to say, what's the fuss all about? This response reveals everything wrong with both Carrington's mindset and the league's handling of dangerous play.
Swear I'm such a dirty player. I'm so over this narrative because if you really know ball, you know I just play hard as F and never give up on a play. And yep, we challenged the last couple flagrants and got them rescinded because I'm always trying to make a play on the ball. None more, none less.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. The pattern extends far beyond this single incident. Earlier in the season, Carrington was involved in a controversial play that resulted in Paige Bueckers being placed in concussion protocol. While Bueckers' injury may have occurred during a collision with Courtney Vandersloot, the fact that Carrington was involved in yet another play that put a star rookie at risk speaks to her reckless approach to defense. Bueckers, the number 1. First overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, has since missed multiple games due to concussion protocol, potentially derailing what should have been a stellar rookie campaign. The most telling aspect of Carrington's defensive style isn't her intensity, it's her consistent inability to distinguish between aggressive defense and dangerous play. During a game against the Minnesota Lynx, she was assessed a flagrant 1 foul on Jessica Shepard, with slow-motion replays showing her left arm catching Shepard's face while her body flailed dangerously close to other players. This isn't the behavior of someone who simply plays hard, it's the behavior of someone who has never learned the difference between controlled aggression and reckless endangerment.
So once again, DJonai Ratchet as Carrington is back at it again, being the dirty player that she is. And she plays so hard. How many dirty plays is this now for this season? Constantly trying to take people out on the court because you got all that ratchet girl energy that you got to release on the court, man. And you know what's funny about this? Remember when she was in practice with Paige breaking all those shots and Paige was clowning her and she was like, I got bad knees. That's why I can't shoot. But you fly through the air like a ratchet raven to go and try to block shots and it just take people out. And now all of a sudden your knees just aren't bad to be able to do this, huh?
What makes the situation truly infuriating isn't just Carrington's behavior. It's the WNBA's spineless response to it. By rescinding her flagrant fouls after appeals, the league has essentially told every player in the WNBA that dangerous play is acceptable as long as you can craft a compelling narrative afterward. This isn't just bad policy, it's a complete abdication of the league's responsibility to protect its players. The league's decision to overturn these flagrant fouls sends a clear message. The WNBA is more concerned with avoiding controversy than with player safety. This is the same league that has spent months wringing its hands over the physical play directed at Caitlin Clark, yet when one of their own players consistently endangers others, they choose to look the other way. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with one of Carrington's infamous fingernails. Consider the context of these reversals. Multiple officials, after reviewing plays in real time and often with video replay, determined that Carrington's actions warranted flagrant foul calls. These are trained professionals whose job it is to distinguish between acceptable contact and dangerous play. Yet somehow, after pressure from the Dallas Wings organization and Carrington's own protests, the league decided these officials were wrong. Not once, but multiple times. By consistently overturning legitimate flagrant foul calls, the WNBA has essentially told every player in the league that the rules don't apply equally to everyone.
The WNBA, whoever is rescinding these these flagrant fouls, should never be allowed to do anything in basketball again, because intent is nothing to do. Intent has nothing to do with flagrant fouls. She just keeps swatting people in the head. Like, again, I've said it. I made a video on this. I don't think she's a dirty player because dirty requires some intent. She just keeps swatting people in the head.
Carrington's response to legitimate criticism reveals everything wrong with modern athletic culture. Instead of using the criticism as motivation to clean up her play, she's chosen to portray herself as a victim of unfair persecution. I'm so over this narrative, she wrote, as if the narrative isn't based on her own documented behavior on the basketball court. This isn't a narrative, it's a pattern. It's not hate, it's accountability. And her inability to distinguish between the two reveals someone who has spent too much time in an echo chamber and not enough time in honest self-reflection. The most revealing aspect of her social media response is her claim that she's always trying to make a play on the ball. This defense might work if we were talking about occasional hard fouls that happen to any aggressive defender. But when you lead the league in flagrant fouls and consistently put other players at risk, trying to make a play on the ball becomes a convenient excuse for dangerous behavior. Her response also included the telling detail that we challenged the last couple flagrants and got them rescinded. Notice the pride in her voice. Not shame at having been called for dangerous fouls, but pride at having gotten them overturned. This isn't the response of someone who has learned from their mistakes. It's the response of someone who has learned how to game the system. This is the same player who previously called Indiana Fever fans the nastiest fans in the W. After a loss, showing a pattern of lashing out at critics rather than addressing legitimate concerns about her behavior. When professional athletes start treating criticism of their on-court performance as personal attacks worthy of social media responses, they've fundamentally misunderstood their role as public figures.
DJonai Carrington is sitting up here really trying to downplay this whole situation. Like, she ain't at fault here, bro. Like, you've been assaulting players for the last year and a half, bro. Then you want to come to social media and act like you just playing hard on the ball. Like, you intentionally poking people in the eye is you not playing hard on the ball, man. Then you're going to try to call out fans for pretty much calling you out for your BS. High head always, audience of one. Like, come on, bro. Hothead is what you should have said, because you is definitely a hothead, bro. Like, DJonai Carrington need to get out of here. She mad that fans is really starting to apply pressure for the WNBA to do something.
No discussion of DJ Carrington's problematic behavior would be complete without addressing her history with Caitlin Clark. During Clark's rookie season, Carrington was involved in an eye poke incident that many viewed as intentional, given the nature of the contact and Carrington's subsequent behavior. While Carrington and her defenders claimed it was accidental, the incident fit a broader pattern of targeting that Clark faced throughout her rookie year. What makes this particularly relevant to the current situation is how it establishes a pattern of behavior. Players who consistently find themselves in controversial situations involving star players aren't unlucky. They're making choices. When those choices consistently put other players at risk, and when the player in question shows no willingness to modify their behavior, it becomes a league-wide problem. The fact that Clark handled the situation with characteristic professionalism while Carrington took to social media to defend herself reveals everything we need to know about the two players' character. One understands that basketball is a contact sport where hard fouls happen, and the other treats every piece of criticism as a personal attack worthy of extended social media campaigns.
The WNBA continues to brag about physical play. All the while, they have players in this league that is going to get people hurt. Last night, Skylar Diggins came very close to being really hurt. There's a difference between physical play and being downright dirty as hell. And let's be honest, there is precedent for DJonai Carrington. Without a doubt, she's considered this defensive specialist. We all watched the what I believe to be and look, this is my opinion, but I can believe it if I choose. I believe she very intentionally tried to scoop out Caitlin Clark's eyeballs with her long-ass fingernails that I can't believe Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA will not ban. I don't get it.
Perhaps the most damning aspect of the WNBA's failure to address Carrington's dangerous play is what happened to Paige Bueckers. The number 1 overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, Bueckers represents the future of women's basketball. Her combination of skill, basketball IQ, and marketability makes her exactly the type of player the WNBA should be protecting at all costs. Yet, when Bueckers was placed in concussion protocol after a game where Carrington was involved in multiple questionable plays, the league's response was to quietly move on rather than address the underlying issues. Bueckers missed multiple games during what should have been her breakout rookie season, potentially costing her Rookie of the Year consideration and certainly costing the league one of its brightest young stars for crucial games. The fact that Carrington was Bueckers' own teammate makes this situation even more problematic. If a player can't be trusted to avoid putting her own teammates at risk, how can she be trusted on the court with opponents? The Wings organization's decision to appeal and successfully overturn Carrington's flagrant fouls sends a clear message that winning games is more important than player safety, even when it comes to protecting their own franchise player.
Not basketball play. Nothing about this play screams basketball. In fact, the only thing this play screams is, dude, keep DJonai Carrington far away from my team, man. Keep DJonai Carrington far away from my team. There's a difference between playing hard and just playing reckless. Playing hard and playing dirty. Playing hard and playing like DJonai Carrington. There is a huge difference. In the same game, again, folks,
the WNBA's handling of the DJ Carrington situation represents a complete failure of leadership from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Under her watch, the league has consistently chosen the path of least resistance, avoiding difficult decisions that might generate short-term controversy while ignoring the long-term damage to the league's credibility and player safety. Engelbert has already faced criticism this season for her tone-deaf comments about racism in the sport. Now, with the Carrington situation, she's facing criticism for her complete inability to enforce player safety standards. The pattern is clear. When faced with difficult decisions, Engelbert chooses to avoid making any decision at all, hoping that problems will solve themselves. The decision to rescind Carrington's flagrant fouls after appeals represents everything wrong with Engelbert's leadership style. Instead of standing behind the officials who made the calls in real time, she's chosen to appease the loudest voices in the room. This isn't leadership. It's the complete abdication of responsibility that has defined her tenure as commissioner. The most frustrating aspect of Engelbert's failure is that the solution is simple. Establish clear, consistent standards for what constitutes dangerous play and enforce them equally for all players. The fact that she has consistently failed to do this basic aspect of her job while the league grows in popularity represents a missed opportunity of historic proportions.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I get it. You want to play hard. You want to chase down. You want to get the chase down blocks, right? You want to embarrass your opponent. You want to get your teammates hyped by making a great play. But fam, that's not the way, man. Stop slapping these players in the head. Stop scratching these players. Stop poking eyes. Stop it. Stop hacking players. Stop doing it, man. Stop doing it. You can be a great defensive player and not play dirty.
The response from WNBA fans to Carrington's behavior and the league's handling of it has been overwhelmingly critical, and rightfully so. Fans have labeled her plays as trash play from a dirty player and questioned how many more times she'll be allowed to engage in dangerous behavior before facing meaningful consequences. These aren't hate-filled attacks. They're legitimate concerns from people who love the sport and want to see it played safely and fairly. Carrington's decision to characterize this criticism as unfair persecution reveals someone who has never learned to accept responsibility for her actions. When multiple fan bases across the league are raising concerns about your play style, the problem isn't with the fans, it's with the player. When officials consistently call flagrant fouls on your defensive plays, the problem isn't with the officials, it's with your approach to defense. The most telling aspect of the fan response is its consistency across different incidents and different opponents. This isn't a case of one team's fans being particularly vocal. It's fans across the league recognizing dangerous play when they see it. When Connecticut Sun fans, Dallas Wings fans, Indiana Fever fans, and Seattle Storm fans all have concerns about the same player's behavior, it's time to stop dismissing their concerns as bias and start addressing the underlying issues.